Alright guys, I think this is going to be pretty much my pure commentary, like my first pure commentary video by myself. It's just going to be a Forsaken tier list, my opinions on all of Forsaken people and why. So first we have Noob. I think like out of both the survivalists, I think that he's definitely the better of the two. Simply because he has so much more versatility. I don't really have much more to say about Noob. Builder Man. Builder Man, I don't know where exactly I'm going to put him. I know that he's a very valuable support. Not too many people play him because he's a very boring character to play, but I like him. Probably, I mean, they're the only character who can both heal and slow the killer down. So I'm going to put them probably high A tier. Chance. In my opinion, probably the second worst Sentinel. You have to rely entirely on luck. So if you have 3 charges, your gun blows up. No matter what else you have, you pretty much just are instantly dead if your gun blows up while you're by the killer. Although in the past, I would have put him probably higher up. I'm going to put them in C tier. Dusakar. In my opinion, Dusakar is the best support. They can prevent anyone from taking damage with their shield and overheal. Before the Nully update, they would have been all the way down bottom C tier, because they didn't have nearly as much utility, but now they can also move with pretty much no restrictions while using their abilities. So I'm going to put them top S tier, best character in the game. Elliot. I think Elliot is the second best character in the game. Second or third. But Elliot, they're the only one who can heal large amounts of HP quickly. So if you have Dusakar and an Elliot on your team's basically already set to win. Guest, best Sentinel. I like Guest because even though he has a hard learning curve, he's the most utility out of any Sentinels. Not that many gimmicks, besides they have to block and you can parry. Also, charge does come in useful for protecting others. Also, body blocking for either of these two. So that way they can heal you after, or give you overheal. That's pretty good. Now, 07. I'm putting 07 in B tier because they are good, but they only really shine in Last Man Standing. Before Last Man Standing, they don't really do too well. They're just as bad as effective as any other survivor, unless you're using the dummy skin. If you're using the dummy skin, they're either bottom A tier or top B tier, and that's just because of how hard it is to see. But we're not going to be ranking skins. Shidletsky. I think Shidletsky's better than Chance, but are they worse or better than 07? I think Shidletsky's slightly better than 07. Not by much, but actually no, they are better by a lot, because they can both stun the killer and when they gain distance, they can instantly heal. Well, not instantly. They can heal 40 HP back pretty quickly. Actually, I'm gonna move Chance up to B tier. Having him in C tier is just... that's too bad. Yeah, he's not bad enough for C tier. But... Taff... They are very high C tier. About to be in B tier. But... their bombs and tripwire do not bring enough utility into the game to justify me putting them in B tier. By the way, I've gotten level 100 on every character in the game, so I'm judging this based on how it was to play them back when I was doing it. Minus the ones that got reworked and 2-time. So 2-time. 2-time I think is... 2-time, if you're just casual, he's the worst Sentinel to play. But he can also be second best. He can either be second or third best. He can be the best Sentinel or the worst Sentinel to play. So I'm put them directly in bottom A. Because they are very hard to learn, but once you do learn them, they are one of the most annoying survivors in the game. And that's why you should always target 2 times. Also, this might spoil something, but I'm going to make a new tier. Noli. I wonder who could go in here. Alright, Noli. Noli is the worst killer in the game. Void Rush is the worst large damaging ability in the game. Gashing Wound would have been worse, the worst before the Noli update, but you have to hit twice to do the same damage as a Gashing Wound. In the first, a hit of Void Rush only does 10 damage, and that's not rewarding the slightest. Nova has very inconsistent hitboxes, and he also has the worst M1 in the game with a notifier for whenever he can use his M1 again. Jason. Probably going to put him in B, because... No. High B. Because Jason, he is the middle point for killers. You're either better than Jason or you're worse than Jason. There is no in between. Yeah. It's just like saying something's true or false. But Jason is the perfect midpoint if you're good with him. But he's very good for new players and a valuable tool to learn with. Cool Kid. I personally think Cool Kid is either high A or, in my personal opinion, bottom S. I like Cool Kid a lot because they're very useful in any situation besides Last Man. Last Man is the only point where they fall off. But they do require a lot of skill to use properly. And most people thought they were going to get completely overshadowed by Noli. But it was the other way around. John Doe. I think bottom C tier. I don't like using John Doe. I know that he is able to be used well, but in my personal opinion, all of the other killers besides Noli can come in useful in more situations. Even Noli in a lot of situations has more utility than John Doe. It's just that a lot of the abilities that he does have hold him down enough to where John Doe is even better than he is. And then finally 1X. Do I think Deuce Scar 1X is better? personally think I'm gonna have to go with 1X because they're a killer. I guess, I don't know. But, okay. 1X is the best killer. Pretty much everyone agrees on that. But, 1X has the most mobility options with his minions, Unstable Eye, and him getting a speed boost whenever he lands Entanglement. He also can hold survivors in place with Entanglement, deal massive damage with Mass Infection, and his M1 grants poison, and it gets stronger with each time you can chain an M1 hit before the effects wear off. So that's my ranking. If you guys have anything that you would change about them, about the ranking, leave it in the comments. Thank you and goodbye.